All right. Yeah, all right. So we're here. We're live. Part 2. We got Steven, the voice of DeFi, the guy that I talk to every day. And we got the one and only, we got Nick. We got Nick Small. Is it small like small, or is it like small like with a like more of an O sound?
My real last name is actually Nick Small, but I go by Nick Small on here.
Okay. Well, you hiccuped, so I'm not sure exactly what your last name was.
Yeah, sorry. Nick Small is my real last name. Nick Small is what I go by on here.
That makes a whole lot of sense. What's up with you tonight, Mr. DeFi?
Man, nothing much here. I've got my attendance may be spotty. I've got parent duty here, and so yeah, we'll see how it is. But I wanted to jump in, wanted to hear about some NFTs with Nick, and yeah, I wasn't gonna even if I just get a few minutes here. I didn't want to sacrifice those few minutes. So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you know, as we talked about, and I talked a little bit about Nick, we're progressing. I mean, this is 2 of NFT talk with Nick. We got to come up with a fun title, you know, about what this is, like our own Moon Monday or NF Tuesday or Wag Me Wednesday type. It doesn't have to be an alliteration, but we need to have a fun title, and I want to help us with that.
I agree.
Yeah, because just NFTs with Nick at 7 p.m. just doesn't seem like that has a great ring to it. Oh, Yates is here. What's up, buddy?
Man, Yates is just following you around because he was in here earlier.
Yates is my boy. We've been boys forever, and you know, he's a TRADERVERSE ambassador. I told him to come check out Nick,
and here he is.
And here he is. What a good friend. He actually followed through. I appreciate that. Some of my IRL friends don't even.
Well, he won't regret it. Hearing from Nick is special. So yeah, he won't regret spending his time here with us.
And so Nick, you know, Steve and I and Christine, we were talking earlier today about like how we can do this show with you. Since you can't make our Twitter Spaces, you know, because you got school, because you're 13. We were thinking about taking all the articles that we talked about, like crypto and NFT related articles, and talk them over with you and see what your take is on them. You know, I figured that'd be a pretty good way of, you know, I want to hear you on it, and you're never, you know, able to make it to our spaces.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, because I think your perspective will be a lot different than what our perspective will be. You know, we look at them and we may come to some conclusion, but you may hear it and you may hear a different conclusion, or hear something that like your generation may be like really behind, where you'll be like, oh yeah, we can really get behind that sort of an idea. So I think it'll just be a perspective that we're not used to hearing. Absolutely.
And so, you know, one of the things that we talked about today actually was the metaverse. Jobs inside the metaverse. And so, Nick, my question to you is, are you career hunting for jobs in the metaverse right now?
At the moment, not right now. But I think it's definitely something I'll look into.
Yeah, I mean, you know, real estate comes to mind for me, you know, and everything's an NFT. You know, everything essentially could be an NFT. You know, I bet you they're not preparing you for school, what it's going to be like in the metaverse.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Maybe you could lead that curriculum.
I got you. Yeah.
But the thing is, Nick, I feel like you already do some things that you could do in the metaverse. I've heard you kind of drop some knowledge on people in a way that only you can, that tell people about like what NFTs are, what brings them value, what a floor price is, that sort of thing. I've heard you explain that kind of stuff. And in the metaverse, I think there will be a place for education. And so you already do something, you know, that you could do in a metaverse. I mean, if you had a 3D avatar that was, you know, almost like a Professor Nick, then it would work out just the same here as it would in the metaverse. So in my mind, you're already doing something that is a careerable skill. Is that a word? Careerable skill that you could do in the metaverse.
I mean, if hodl's a word, careerable is a word.
That's right.
That's exactly right. Thank you. Yeah, and hey, so actually, let's take. I mean, I talked about this last week a little bit with you, but do you have any updates on what's going on with the status of your project, the Ranchy Rednecks?
Yeah. You know, the Ranchy Rednecks are amazing. I love my project. Right now, we're in a state and a station. where we're kind of just like in that kind of stuck point. Like, I love my rednecks no matter what, and forever I will stay with them. We're just kind of in that stuck place where, like, okay, what do we do next? How do we keep these mints going? Because at the end of the day, what I don't want to happen is a dead, failed community. That's the last thing I need to have. So, right now I'm just kind of in that moment where, like, figuring out, okay, what is next? What is this next marketing strategy? What is this way to get more eyes on both myself and my project? And it's just, again, we're kind of in that stuck moment where it's like we're just coming out alive barely.
Absolutely. I feel your pain sometimes. The community lifestyle, the marketing lifestyle is you gotta ebb and flow through it. So maybe Mr. Yates here in the audience, he's actually heard of your project. I don't know if you know who this man is, but he's a staple, at least in my heart, to the stock community. And he was saying that he heard of your project and like your utility or your guys' passion, which is ending racism. Maybe speak a little to that. Like, where's your thoughts on how you could do that, and like what kind of events, with your NFT community could you do?
Of course, yeah. So, of course, NFTs are the future, the metaverse is the future, everything like this is the future. So, we need to basically show people, whether it be in the metaverse, whether it be within an NFT project, your point is all get viewed. So, basically, what I'm kind of trying to do is, kind of try to enforce, basically, I guess, what I'm trying to do. And what I should further explain of what I'm trying to do, and I'm using that word a lot, is I'm trying to change racism, and the way that we're kind of gonna do that is by showing examples. Because again, I've said this so many times, I can't change people. I can try to change people, but it never seems to work. So, the only thing I really can do is show people examples, show people meanings that change, show people, something that's racist that went from not racist to basically show them what they should be doing, just to kind of give them that example. And I think that's what we're trying to do, because NFTs really are the future. And I think it's going to be the biggest platform and the biggest shareable to show people what the world should be like. And I think especially through art, that's where creativeness and meanings are expressed the most. So I think it's a great way to kind of express it.
So would you say that that's the reason why you depicted your NFT character as a redneck, just because they are stereotypically known as, and I'm using air quotes and you can't see my face, but I'm saying like racist people? Like, is that why you picked the redneck? Or is it just
No, at first I thought it was racist, to be honest. When I thought of redneck, I actually thought of just these guys who sat on farms all day, I guess. So I never knew at first what the kind of meaning behind them. And then that's kind of when I decided what to do with it, and, what to kind of, I guess, what I wanted to do more than just an NFT project, trying to give people a good minting experience, things like that.
Right. Go ahead, Steven.
Well, I was just going to say from your project. First of all, I minted this week, so I'm a proud.
Let's go,
yeah. So yeah, I did mint this week, but as far as for the racism standpoint of rednecks and everything, first of all, I came from a smaller town than any of you, and I don't even know where you're from, Nick, but I just know my town was smaller because I'm from a very small town. And well, I'll go ahead and tell you, my graduating class was a class of 32. Okay, so I come from a very, very small town.
Wow.
And yeah. So rednecks, I know, maybe I am one. I don't know. I come from a long line of rednecks. So I kind of thought it was cool to have one. Because I kind of felt like it just looked like people I grew up with. It just, was, I don't know. It just seemed kind of familiar to me. So I appreciated that. But as far as it being racist, I don't know that I view it like that, but I know that others may even, feel like that would be a derogatory term or something. But I think for the most part, and I'm just speaking personally, people just hear that term and just think, oh yeah, that's what people from small towns that, sometimes just people what small towns are called. So I don't know that it's always viewed as racist. Yeah. And I know you said you came from an area that kind of near you, there was some small towns and things like that. And yeah, I don't necessarily consider it racist, but anyway, I'm a proud holder of one. I did not get as rare as what Smart Rick ended up with, so that's
I mean, not everyone can get a top 20 ranch
only
redneck.
15 people are more rare than you, Rick.
Only 15, baby. Yeah, baby. I proudly adorn this. It's like you said earlier, like I've never had like the rarest collection, and this is probably the rarest one that I ever got. So I'm pretty proud of it. So internet. Can you guys hear me? I think my internet just went down.
Oh no, I hear you.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, cool.
Heads up, by the way, we do have like, so it's like so windy here in Kansas right now. It's crazy. It's like the Wizard of Oz Part 2.
There's no place like home, right?
Like, yeah, maybe Dorothy's outside. Hey, Dorothy, you want to come? I got you, bro. Okay, yeah. Guys saw her. She was with her slippers, and she's all good right now. But we brought her inside, so she's all good. But we had a couple shortages today, so we had a shortage actually like 20 minutes ago, right before this. So just heads up on that. So if I get kicked for a minute or two, that's why. But yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, no. For whatever reason, the one room that I have decided to set up my office in Launch House, it's got the worst service in the world. Like, out of all of the places, it's this place. From
a guy that talks to him most of the day, I can confirm his room is not good.
Yes, can confirm. Yes, absolutely. So, from the utility aspect, of ending racism, have you talked to your community at all? Have they come up with any good ideas?
Not too much. Yeah,
no?
I mean, yeah, not too much.
Well,
I think it's a difficult. I'm not sure. I'm trying to make sure I say this correctly, but it's probably a difficult problem to tackle through NFTs. And what I mean by that is, you want to make an NFT that like brings awareness to racism, but you don't want to be racist in making the NFTs itself.
Yeah.
And so I know you're probably very aware of that. So if you were to make, some other, I don't want to say race or something like that of, instead of Ranchy Rednecks, it'd be the whatever next iteration. And you would probably end up being racist doing that. So you try not to do that. Then you also try to get the funds that are made through the minting of the NFT collection. And you want to be able to use those funds for kind of an anti-racism campaign or organization or something like that. And that will take you so far. So I just think it's a tough problem to solve all in all anyway, but it's a tough problem to solve through the NFT space for sure. You're going to have to find your community that is really passionate about it, from the get-go.
Absolutely. I mean,
Did he get run?
Gone. Andy's gone.
God.
Back to you, Michael.
Yeah, I'm sure you said something, 7 years ago. I'm sure it was amazing, but but we never heard it.
Yeah. He is not lying. He really didn't.
You gotta. Yeah, I don't know. Rick, I'm sure you're just spitting some truth right now, but yeah, you're not coming through.
Yeah, oh man, that's just unfortunate because I don't think I'll be able to repeat what I just said.
Told you before, you can't say those words here. No,
it was enlightening. It was so enlightening,
I'm sure.
So I guess, Nick, was something we didn't talk about last week. And for those who want to listen to our first conversation, it is in the AMA After Hours section. I just posted it today. We kind of talked about Nick's journey into NFTs, his first rug pull that he was a part of. He got back on the horse, made some money, and then he dumped it all into his community and to build this project. So where did that thought come from where you're like, I'm going to do my own?
So, it kind of came after that rug pull and after I had enough money. I always saw all these rug pulls and I always wanted to kind of do something and I thought it'd be really cool and really fun. And that's kind of where it all started.
So whenever you decided to make your own, what was your motivation? Was it that, okay, I think I can probably do pretty well financially from this, you know, or is it more of like, this is going to be the best education I could possibly get in the space by doing my own project and figuring out what it's like to be a creator, a founder?
Yo, I mean, hold on one second. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. When I first got this, it was about two things. One, the money. Two, it was about the reputation. To be able to say when I'm older, I did this, and that's the reason why you should hire me. Or I did this, and this will further help if I make a different project. It was about those two things. And then when I really started making it, it was about something very different. So, you know, things changed, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It was definitely about the money and about that reputation at the front.
Well, even if it was, I think by the end of it, and you probably already feel this way, I mean, I know like you had a delayed launch for like a week or so, and you probably learned a little bit there. I mean, every step through your process here, you're going to learn a whole lot. And exactly what you wanted was that kind of resume builder someday to say, hey, I've actually launched a project that actually, you know, you've got that in spades now. Understand not only how to build a project, but how to build a community too. And you can, you know, Zach can tell you as well as anybody that that's an art.
Yeah, it is definitely a hard thing to do. And forever will I be able to do it. I don't know. But, you know, it's something I'm learning how to do every day. And I love doing it. So, you know, it's fun for sure.
You get the opportunity to make friends for a living. You get to literally get a good group of friends around a single idea. It's a fun idea.
It's crazy how much this space. Like, I was talking to Snoop Dogg's son last night. That's what the NFT space brought. Like,
all right.
That's
why didn't we open with that?
Yeah. Well, you're dropping some alpha on it. So tell us about that. How that happened.
So, I have a friend named Real Nice Guy. He is a very real nice guy. And he's pretty good friends with Cordell, Snoop Dogg's son, one of. And you know, he's in the NFT space. He's been in here for a little while, and I've been talking to him for 2 or 3 weeks. He follows me on Twitter, and yeah. But I mean, as I'm saying, I've met apes, I've met all these different people, and I met TRADERVERSE. You know, it's all from these connections, and it's crazy. And I just love doing it, and the connections that will be built up for the future. Like, guys, fucking Snoop Dogg's son. Excuse my language, and Christina, if you're in here, I'm so sorry. Snoop Dogg's son, bro. Like, y'all hear that? Like, those type of connections are for the future, and I think that's why the NFT space will go so far. Because it doesn't only provide wealth, it doesn't only provide education, but it also provides future, you know, things. So, you know, that's why I love this space so much, because it brings so much to people.
Yeah,
well, that's one. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're fine. It builds a genuine connection with someone else as well.
And that's what I was going to say. I feel like you're learning, and I've seen it, you know, kind of play out in your story, is that how valuable your network is. I mean, you had, you know, found yourself on some spaces. You met Christine. We did the TRADERVERSE space. And then I can remember when Christine said, hey, everybody, check out Nick. And she brought you up on stage. And immediately your charisma kind of made a lot of people, you know, join in with what your cause was. But I think what it really showed in watching your growth trajectory is just how important your network is. So you've met a few people, and you've been able to kind of augment yourself through that, because it's really important. I don't think you can even succeed in this space if you don't have a good network. And now at 13, you've already got a really good network. Question I've wondered about with yourself is, when you go to school, do you talk about NFTs with your friends, or is this just you know, you don't really talk about it much and you go home and put on the headset and that's whenever the NFT talk starts?
You know, it's literally as soon as I get home. I mean, my friend, I actually do have a couple friends now who know I do NFTs, and for the first time forever, my friend told me, I've been seeing NFTs on TikTok today, and he's like, I don't really know what it is, and I don't really understand why they're selling for like bajillions of dollars, but I know that there are art pieces online that sell for a lot of money. And I think that's the first time I've ever heard a kid in my grade be able to see. I mean, it's not even that much, but it's a step in the right direction, and it's something I really want to see more of. But
So they're not even interested on the whole. Your peers aren't that interested.
They like money, and if they can figure out how to make money, they'll do that. But they're not that driven. Like for me, I spend day after night staying up 1 a.m. to do this crap. Like it's the drive is different per person, and I think that's something that I have. And I think that's the only reason why I will ever be successful, and why a lot of people won't. At my age, and that's just, it comes all down to drive. You don't have to be that smart. Like, I'm not that smart. It literally just all comes down to drive.
It's a very interesting way of putting it, for sure. And Steven, don't let him fool you. Like, he's jumping into spaces and tweeting during the.
Oh yeah. I won't let him fool me into think that he's not intelligent. But I can completely agree with that your drive is what makes you smart, right? I can say that. So I own a doctorate. I possess a doctorate, and it's not because I'm smart. It's because I just kind of put my nose to the grindstone and things and really, really go at it hard. And ultimately, I think that's probably what separates like somebody like Nick, who's 13, but he's in a class of a whole bunch of other 13-year-olds. And for the most part, it sounds like most of them aren't driven quite like Nick is. And it's because he has an ability to be able to just kind of put out all outside distractions and put his head down and go into it. But B, he's also got some charisma. So,
what mic do you have? I need to know.
Good question. It's a Shure MV7. Shure
Okay.
MV7.
Joe, what do you use for Twitter Spaces? Because it sounds really good on Twitter Spaces too.
It's a Shure MV7 on Twitter Spaces as well, but it takes.
He's hacked it. He hacked the network.
But yeah, how did you do that?
Oh,
magic!
Yeah, me and you need to get into the side conversation on this.
I need to know how to do. Wait, okay, I need one question answered. Do you go on computer for Spaces?
No, I don't. I do it through my phone, but I use this Zoom H6, which you can look into that. I'll actually give you I'll DM you.
DM me how to do this, because I want to use my Quadcast.
Yeah. You'll want to do that, but you'll have to. I've got a spider web of wires in front of me. It's crazy how much it takes to have, be able to do it.
Okay.
But it's worth it. It's worth it. And then of course, I've got like cool
what? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Oh my God, yeah.
I've got like sound effects too, which adds another layer of a stream deck. And anyway, there's a lot of stuff in front of me. But since now on the daily, I'm either on Spaces or Discord or Telegram. It's just kind of an investing in myself kind of a thing of getting the good mic and the good equipment to go with it. But good question. And it's actually, if I ranked the most questions that the voice of DeFi, besides speaking in third person, gets, it's what equipment are you using?
Yeah, I need to hook that up as well, because I do have a nice mic and all that stuff, and I do have a soundboard as well that I would love to use.
Oh, see, when you just have competing, sound
effects.
Yeah.
I told you I wanted that to be like my intro music. Like we each come in kind of like a boxer or a wrestler or something like that. And we have, smoke machines and custom music to come into. Or since Nick, I know he's a baseball fan, like a walk-up music for before you get on
walk-up song.
Yeah, exactly. I need one of those.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. It'd be really fun. I would enjoy that a lot. It would bring a lot of theatrics to what we're doing.
Yeah.
So you're telling me, out of all your classmates, if I said, who here runs the Ranchy Rednecks, they would just shrug their shoulders and say, I don't know.
No, they don't. They wouldn't even know what it is.
They would say, what's Ranchy Rednecks? Okay.
You need to show your classmates.
Yeah, like they're going to buy anything. I only show the people who have potential buys.
I mean, Christmas is coming up. Maybe their parents would buy them a Ranchy Rednecks.
Yeah, sadly. There's one thing that I think a lot of parents will have a hard time introducing with. If they aren't already in the crypto world, or someone who is a friend of a parent has not introduced them to the crypto world, there is a very low chance, until it gets more centralized in our economy, that they will buy. I think it's too much of a risk for them. And I think a lot of people just wouldn't want to do that, and they don't know what crypto is. And I mean, they might know of crypto, but they've never bought it. It's just a long loophole that I think someone personal has to get them into. But yeah.
I think we just discovered what your YouTube channel is going to be about. It's Dear Parents, Buy Your Kids Crypto.
You think, huh?
I like that.
Let's do it.
What I think your age bracket probably will turn the corner for them, and this is the way I plan it to be with my kids, is play to earn games. I mean, I know other 13-year-olds are playing video games because you're 13. What it seems like something to do. And if you were told, oh, but if you play this game, you could actually earn this crypto that actually could buy you stuff. I think play to earn games are going to lead to your generation right now accepting crypto more than anything before. Because like you said, most of them just are interested, does it make me money or not? But they do like to play games. And I think they could use, both of those things about playing games and earning money to be able to, learn more about it than they would have normally.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you ever played any of the play to earn games?
I have not yet. I don't really know of too many interesting ones. I think as the metaverse of Facebook comes out, I think there'll be some good ones. I just think right now we're early on those stages, and I think all the games kind of suck. We need someone like Epic Games or Blizzard to come in here with a good game and teach people how it's done, and it'll kind of set a standard. I think, to be honest with you, I'm a gamer, so I know what games are good, and it's kind of like complete poop right now. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it's just the graphics, the way it's ran, the simplicity of it. It's not good right now.
But what about like Flappy Bird or something like that? That's
Bird,
simple.
I think it's cool. I like Flappy Bird, but I think to really get kids involved in this, you need a better game than that.
You're probably right.
Flappy Bird for money. But they're the one I have looked into that actually, and they're places that are with it, like they're literally paying like $1 per year basically.
Oh yeah, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
But like people like Axie Infinity, there's people in the Philippines that are making a living off of playing that game. So
yeah, absolutely. And it's been a big theme of Lunch House is actually play to earn games. And we had a speaker from Andreessen Horowitz, which is one of the biggest like VCs out there, and the girl that spoke, Kara was her name. She was really smart, really cool. She's like 23, like high up there, and like went to Harvard, like crazy. She was talking about like even like YGG, which is a place where they actually loan out Axies to people in the Philippines, teach them how to play, and so they can go forth and make money for their families. And it's just like such a wild concept that people in third world countries are being able to play these pretty simple.
What do you actually make? How much do you actually make off these?
That's a really good question, Nick. But I do know that what you do is you earn other Axies or NFTs, and then you sell them on the marketplace, which is in the form of their token, and then you can swap that token to Ethereum, I believe, and then that can be used as real money.
So what? I'm just trying to figure out a base because I'm trying to figure out if maybe I should have quit this whole NFC thing and just go straight to Axie Infinity, bro.
Yeah,
I gotta go.
Let me look it up right now for you.
Yeah, I need to know, man.
But the thing is to me, it's a marriage of gaming and NFTs. So there's a BSC chain, a Binance chain game that I'm looking into. You buy the NFTs and it's like a playable character in like a Mortal Kombat style game. Not as good as graphics as Mortal Kombat, but it's a Street Fighter type of game. And yeah, so you buy the NFTs. If you get a super duper rare one, you have a better player than the other guy. And then you play, and whoever wins, wins some amount of crypto. And it's, you would earn more than $1 a year for sure. So I do think at some point these games will lead to where people are looking into NFTs more than they ever have before, because there will be a utility to them, and the utility to them will be playable characters in the game. Even better is you might be able to do them across multiple games. What if I own the most amazing car ever in a game? Okay, it's a Lambo, it's a perfect paint job, perfect interior, everything. And then I could use it in another game, or I could rent it to to Zach, where, you know, Zach could use it in another game and then I get it back whenever he's through with his rental time. I mean, to me, the fact that you could own something in a game and then use it from game to game, even, to me, that's a different level of ownership within video games. And I think the younger generation will really appreciate that at some point. We're not there yet. I don't think the space has grown enough, but we're getting there.
So I have your statistics for you, Nick, and so it says on average, people in the Philippines are making $400 a month, which gives them a $5,000 salary a year. The average household income in the Philippines is $6,100 for a family of 4. So that's pretty darn good if one person can be bringing in $5,000 a year.
No, what you're telling me is I should be employing a bunch of little kids from my school, and I'm telling them I'll give them like $10 a month, right?
Yeah,
right.
I think you cracked the code.
I mean, as long as we keep it in house and we don't tell them, you know,
Right.
we can have a little monopoly going.
You know, it's funny. I think that probably work. If I give them like, you know, $100 a month for that crap, probably work. Get a bunch of kids to do it.
It's a good margin. That's a really good margin. Yeah, we'll talk offline about how we install this. I mean, but it's kind of crazy to think about that. Like, you know, this game is probably before your time, Nick. But there's a game called RuneScape.
Yeah, it's last place, yes.
Yeah, it's you know, I played that when I was your age, and like it was so much fun. And like I know that the country of Venezuela, like they pretty much own a monopoly on the exchange. And I don't know exactly how they support their families and their with that game and how that all works. But you know, it's really cool to see that, you know, people in third world nations are able to support eating, sleeping, shelter, all those needs by just playing a game. And where that goes in the future, I mean, like, you know, even like you could be like telling your 12-year-old, like, get back to work. You know, you gotta pay for that college somehow.
These games ain't gonna play themselves, okay?
Exactly. How much Call of Duty have you played today?
Exactly. Well, you know what? 2 hours ain't gonna pay for college. So.
I need bigger kill streaks.
Exactly. Headshots pay more, son. Headshots pay more.
Absolutely, they do. And you know, that's the world we're going in. And that's one of the topics that we talked about today in Spaces was the metaverse jobs. And I talked about this with you know, with Christine and Steven, and we talked about the we talked about you know, real estate as being one, teaching being another, and like I kind of like how Steven said, like, oh, you could teach in the metaverse, and you could teach NFTs in the metaverse, and then, you know, like your first login to Meta could be greeted by NickBot, where it's, you know, it's really just you teaching people and onboarding them to how to
teaching adults how to on the metaverse. Is that like a thing, or like do you think people would be like weirded out by a kid teaching an adult like firsthand on that?
I mean, who taught grandma how to use an iPhone? The kid.
That's true.
So, and when it comes to the metaverse, though, it'll be definitely, you know, obviously we have so many years of experience knowing things a certain way, so it's harder for us to receive, especially in like the tech world, like new revolutions, and the metaverse is going to be one. And it's going to be people of younger generations who are going to understand it, be more excited about, you know, all the intricacies and how everything works, where it's an easier concept for them to grasp. Just like learning a new language. When you learn a new language, it's easier to learn it when you're younger than it is when you're older. Same thing with piano. So like I for one, if a 15, 16-year-old kid came up to me in the metaverse was like, hey, old timer, it looks like you're having a hard time. Why don't you try it like this? I would probably listen.
Yeah, I think, like, you know, the Olympics is going to start up here shortly, the Winter Olympics. I know we just got through with the Summer Olympics, but COVID delayed that. So we're about to have the Winter Olympics. And we're going to watch a lot of, you know, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds just be the best in the world at some certain sport, right? And we all have no problem watching that. I think, you're not going to be 13 forever. In 3 years, I've done the math. I've carried the one, all that, and you're going to be 16. And at that point, I think you'll be able to say, I think people will look to you as an authority. They'll be like, he's young, he knows what he's talking about. And then whenever you say, oh yeah, by the way, I made my first NFT project at 13, I think you'll have some credibility. Now you'll have to sell yourself as like young prodigy, above my years. And that's kind of hard to do, sometimes sell yourself. You've been helped out by having like other people like Christine say that for you, which you don't have to sound like haughty whenever somebody else says it, but eventually you'll have to like sell yourself. And I think people will listen to you because, in a metaverse, even older people, because they'll see you as like, wow, this person's young. Therefore they know that space, just because everybody assumes that young people know tech. And then 2, you'll actually have a resume by then of 3 years from between now and then, whenever you're literally your Twitter following could be in the hundreds of thousands at that point. You will be a subject matter expert at that point, and there'd be no reason for people not to listen to you. So I think, yes, adults would listen to a teenager about NFTs at least. Now, marriage advice or something like that, yeah, probably not. But NFTs, yeah, they're in.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely one of my goals, to be able to do something like that, and also like, that kind of follower count. Like, I hope in a year's time I'm gonna be at 30, 50, maybe even 100K. Like, that'd be crazy. I think, kind of my more realistic low key goal would probably be 25K, but there's always those possibilities, especially with things coming up with Traderverse. I might push it a little farther, but I'm excited.
We're excited too. There's going to be tons of applications for NFTs in the Traderverse. There could be rewards and NFTs, different skins, or badges, or rewards as in like rankings or establishing a learning. You learned how to buy all of these different coins through a module class, or there's tons of applications for it, or co-ops, for coming to educational events or whatever. That could be NFTs. NFTs can just be literally anything, and that's like kind of the cool thing, and like the way the industry is exploring where the ends of the universe when it comes to NFTs is kind of not quite done. Like real estate seems like a really good thing for NFTs. So does renting cars, buying anything, whether it's digital or physical. It could be represented both in an NFT. Like I know a high art, like high end art. Like there's artists now NFTing the art that is the actual physical painting and selling it, and now they get a royalty every time it's sold secondary sales, just like you would an NFT. So it's it's just really interesting to go and hearing your perspective, and you're getting in so early. I can only imagine where your brain is leading you in this space.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be an interesting path to take and an interesting thing to see for both, the viewers and myself. Again, I'm definitely excited, and I'm here to stay for the long run and enjoy the journey while I'm there.
Absolutely, and that's this is just meeting two. We're so for everyone listening as well. So the team that discovered Nick and Spaces was the voice of DeFi and Christine, and told me I had to listen to him speak, and I did, and we're starting to figure out how he fits into the Traderverse and how we work together to not only promote who he is as a person, because I truly believe he's someone that we need to promote, and like his growth since we discovered him is like almost 5,000 on Twitter. Like, how many have you grown since you started? Since the beginning of November.
Since the beginning of November, let's see, probably like 3,000 or 4,000 followers.
I just saw you eclipsed the 5,000 mark.
Yeah,
you're growing at a great pace. I started
here in like late October, so I was at 65 followers when I first started here.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Insanity. I mean, seriously, you were like a low market cap gem that we saw shoot to the moon. You 100x'd, bro.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. And you know, so you know, I've been talking with the TV Twitter Space crew, and you know, we all want to do a show with you. You know, just because we want to, we're all friends. You know, and it's kind of weird to admit that I'm friends with a 13-year-old when I'm a 30-year-old man. You know, but hey,
don't put that on Twitter. Don't phrase it like that on Twitter.
You all know what I mean. But it's always good to have friends in the space, and you know, it's the power of social media, and like, to turn it into Traderverse. That's exactly what we're trying to do with Traderverse. We're trying to, you know, bring a community of all social media wherever you live. If it's YouTube, or you live on Twitter or TikTok or whatever it is, you can find all the financial data in one place and make it super efficient, super clean, super everything. You know, and the token to transact between users, to reward each other, to buy each other's content, et cetera, et cetera. And so, like, everything that you embody and the way you jump from spaces to spaces, your tweets, your Discord, what you're doing, the Ranch Your Rednecks, all of that is going to be transported into the Traderverse. And, you know, you're a thought leader, especially in your age bracket. So it's really fun to have these conversations with you, and for you to spend your time with us. And we're looking forward to like figuring out how we build this up. And I definitely think that we could have a really fun show, a very educational show, where we could get all these parents to come listen to why their kids should have NFTs.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, again, like, just to kind of touch the journey that I've been on from, you know, late October. It hasn't been that long, but I've enjoyed it so much, and the grind has been crazy. I think, you know, a lot of things that people do is they grind hard and then they burn out, and I think that's something that I have not done. And you know, there's a reason why people burn out. It's because they think of this as work, not a hobby and enjoyment. And I don't think of it as that. I think of it as a hobby and an enjoyment. So I think that's why I haven't got burned out, and I think that's why I'll continue to stay. But yeah, you know.
I also think that just where this industry as a whole in Web3, it's such a baby. Like, it's new things and new possibilities are coming up every day. You know, we read news stories of first ever attempts at doing stuff. So, like, you know, the burnout for you, it's you know, as long as you continue to move with the trends and notice what's going on around you, you won't do the same mundane tasks over and over and over again. It'll be new things, new opportunities, new projects. You can talk about them.
It reminds me of the saying of, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And yeah, that's true. If you absolutely just are passionate about what you do, and it's something that you would do paid or not, just because you enjoy the space, you enjoy what you're doing, then it's not work. It's just something that you truly enjoy doing. Now, my only caution to that is if you do, you know, some people choose careers that was their hobby, and their hobby then becomes their career, and all of a sudden their hobby isn't fun anymore. And so there is a line to cross there. But for sure, I can say that, like, speaking to you guys or speaking on spaces, it's educational for me. It's not something that I'm like, oh, got to clock in or anything, you know, like that. It's more of an enjoyment, and that makes it a conducive environment to learn. To me, is I learn from you guys, you know, in just the way you carry yourselves and things about the space, things about, even like Nick, you've got experience that most likely I'll never have in my life. I'm never planning on releasing an NFT project. I don't think. Yeah, thank you for the yet. We'll see.
We'll see.
Come see my voice of DeFi. I don't know. Pepsi already has the microphones that they've put out now, so they took my idea.
Yeah.
That's why we all can agree that Coke is better than Pepsi.
Boy, we can agree with that. Nick's in Kansas, so I'm going to call that it's not the South, but he's not in Pepsiville, I don't think. So yeah.
No, we're Coke.
Like, so one of the weird fun facts that I do have in my brain, I don't remember both countries, but I do know that only one country outsells, or Pepsi outsells Coke, and it's Lebanon. People in Lebanon love Pepsi.
That is a fun fact. That is a fun fact.
That is a fun fact. Yeah, I don't know why, they just do. You know, I don't hate them for it, but I am always upset when I try to go get some shawarma and all they have is Pepsi when I want a Coke.
Yeah. I'm all Coke. And actually, where I'm from, it's Dr. Pepper. It's Dr. Pepper. So,
really? Some DP. All right. I like some DP.
Yeah.
What about Mr. Pibb? What about Mr. Pibb though? Mr. Pibb.
Well, that's Coke's impersonation of Dr. Pepper. So
what if I think it's better? What if I think it's better though?
You're wrong. That's what if you think it's better, then you're wrong. That's the simple part of it. But
right.
let me just say this: in
Answer.
a pinch, if I'm out, if Dr. Pepper is not available, I will take Mr. Pibb. But let's not play games and act like it's a full on substitute.
Right. I suppose. There can only be one. There's there's 23 flavors, but
Okay, yeah. You see, you do know. You do know.
Oh, of course I know.
But we can all agree Pepsi's third place out of these. Yeah.
It's that. I mean, I think you could be, but we're not talking about soda pops or soda. Wherever you are and whatever you call it.
Bro, soda. It's only soda. People call pop are just wrong.
Whoa! I thought I was like all show. I was talking about how much I liked you, Nick. But now you're just like coming at me and persecuting me.
If you say pop, you're wrong. You're just wrong. It's soda.
Whoa! Well, there's a whole part of this country that believes that it's pop.
It's soda.
Can I disagree with both of you? I can disagree with both of you.
What do you think?
Soda pop?
It's a Coke.
Oh no!
God,
You're one of those. You're one of those.
Yeah.
You're one of the guys who calls everything Coke. Can I have a Coke? And they're like, oh
yeah.
And then they give you a Coke Zero or like whatever Diet Coke, and then no, I want a Coke.
No. The conversation goes like this: Hey, you want a Coke? Yeah, sure. What kind? Dr. Pepper.
Okay, but if you come here, it ain't gonna be like that.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm moving towards saying soda. Now, I will never, and I repeat, never, Smart Rick, move to pop. Okay. But I feel like, okay, so first of all, I lose a little bit of my Southern accent talking online so much because you just hear all the other accents.
I would agree.
Yeah. So you lose it a little bit as you talk to other people, but also you kind of get there. You start getting the way that like people talk as a worldview rather than as your little region that you live in. And so I feel like I've started to say soda more over time than Coke, but never has pop entered my vernacular.
So I have a question for you. When you hear like us, like when you hear, just people from like Central or, who doesn't really have an accent, in my opinion, do you see it as an accent?
No, I don't. They actually say, if you listen to like how you should speak on the radio, they actually say like a Midwestern accent is like neutral.
Exactly. That's what I have. Yeah, I don't have an accent. No, I have a Midwestern. So like, do you hear an accent in me at all?
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay.
So
you don't sound like a freak like DeFi does.
Right. Yeah, you've got to. You're like the neutral, so you don't sound like East Coast or West Coast or Southern or anything like that, and that's what you want. I mean, especially.
West Coast voice?
Oh,
yeah, bro, yeah, dude.
I feel like that's movie stuff, bro. I've been to like LA and stuff. I've never heard of it. Never.
You can hear a little bit in Mike's voice. Mike's got a little California in him.
What up, dude? What up, bro? You want to get serving?
Yeah,
exactly. Ways,
dude. Exactly. And now here's the question.
Let's hear it.
Do you think there'll be a metaverse accent? Like, do you think they'll ever become like, oh, you're from that side of the metaverse?
No, I don't. I think that's one of the things that'll stay how it is. I don't think there can be a metaverse accent.
Oh, I bet you there can be.
Okay, let me tell you what I think it is. And if you hang on spaces enough, you'll find yourself talking like this. And unfortunately for Nick, what I'm about to say, it's not a swipe on you because you already speak in this age range. But if you speak on spaces enough, you will speak like an 8th grader. It's just people just they use different. It's not like you expect this collegiate level speaking. It's very. It's almost like speaking like how you would text, right? Because when I text, I obviously use, small little phrases and things like that, and wag me or whatever I want to say that I wouldn't say in real life. Yeah, that I wouldn't say in real life.
I mean, I do. I definitely
Nah, yeah,
crypto
everything
in
when I
real
say
life.
I have to. But maybe it's because I'm in 7th grade. I don't know. But like,
Well,
nah.
I try to, and it's one of the ways I try to like differentiate myself because everybody needs like their bit, right? So one of them is I like try to have a good radio voice. Hopefully that's just given to me. Try to use the right equipment, but then also I try to speak how I think would be like moderately intelligently, that sort of thing, because I feel like that makes me different. It gives me a different kind of niche in there where I can speak about something using bigger words and things like that. So I always try not to get too much into a hole of like not speaking intelligently, but I think the metaverse will be a lot of how we speak in text rather than full on essay, write 5-paragraph essay type of speaking.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
So I need some alpha real quick.
Yeah, let's do it. What you need?
When is the Traderverse token and platform coming out? I need some alpha.
You need some alpha.
I need to know.
Okay. All right. So for everyone listening, here's a little alpha. So we're planning on the Tradeverse token coming out the first of the year. Not the date, but the first month of the year.
Okay.
And then in the platform, we're looking at springtime. Our first rollout of streams will happen way before then, but we're hoping to have like most of like the social ecosystem, like think the tweeting platform, like the social, like you make posts, sometime in the spring. If things go really well, it could be sooner. But we have a whole office overseas now, buddy. I don't know if you heard. We have a whole office overseas.
That is crazy.
I saw pictures of it today, and it looks like an office, like doors and desks and
So
people.
what is it for? Like
Our developing team.
Oh, okay.
So all of our programmers. So yeah, we hired. I want to say double digits. I don't know what the exact number is, but and they're working every day, full time.
Yeah, I met the lead guy. He was helping me with my smart contract a little. But
Jawad.
What?
Jawad.
Maybe he doesn't speak great English, and he's like the head.
We have a lot
but he codes like a mofo. No.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
No, we do have a great team. Sarah did an amazing job.
Yeah, he was so smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's the alpha for today. I'll tell you what, Nick. There will be some more alpha coming out really soon, like a demo, some videos of what we're doing, and
I better get some alpha in the DMs. I gotta
Oh, yes, of course. I'll hook it up, buddy. But I think that's a good place to wrap it up for the day. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place, same crew. Hopefully, Christine.
Wait, hold on. I need to say something before.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Chill away, my friend.
That's actually not what it is. It's actually about the time part. So I didn't realize, but I do have something every single night on Wednesday from 6:30 CDT or 7:30 CDT to 9. So, well, 6:30, it's 8:30. So, yeah, 9. So somewhere around the 8:30 to 9 EST. So just a heads up on that. So we might have to change times, but Wednesdays.
That's totally fine.
We'll figure out a time. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get a DM going between me, you, Steven, and Christine, and we'll all figure out a great time for all of us to do this together, and really roll it out first, after Christmas. Have some nice planning. Format.
Get Steven to get a couple tunes,
Yeah,
I can. I can get
Christmas tunes.
Oh, I got.
Get the radio voice. There's no way you can't sing.
Oh, I cannot sing. You do not want that. Let me tell you.
However,
I haven't said this to you, Zach, yet, but I have thought about making a crypto or NFT related like jingle bells or something like that, and so
Cool.
TBD. We'll see. Maybe next week or something. I'll bring out a.
So jingle bells, rug pull smell.
Yeah. You got it. You got it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, there's definitely something there.
Robin got my, I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Nick's
Coddling
got the right idea.
Yeah. There's a melody there for sure.
There's
So
something
when,
here.
Ethan went down, and I'm crying all day. Hey!
He completely gets the idea here. He
Yeah,
gets it.
I
He
like
gets it. And that's what's more about Nick is not only does he get the space as far as just NFTs are concerned, but I feel like he gets the vibe of the space as well. So
Yeah, I would agree.
you get what I'm saying. But yeah, we'll figure out a good day and figure out a good time. And we'll make it. I'd like to have Christine here as well. And we'll make this a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And so announcements for tomorrow. We have a bunch of stuff tomorrow. So we're starting the morning off with some live trading with Bentley Trading. He actually popped in the room for a second. And we're having that. And then we're also having our community update at 12:30 EST. And then we have an AMA on Friday with Fuego Friends. So we got a lot of things going on in live content way. And I'm also, if you haven't heard, I know a few people joined today, I'm personally doing onboarding with everybody in the community, like a nice half hour of us just talking about what Traderverse is, what you can expect from me, what you can expect from our team, open forum for you to give feedback of like features that you potentially would want to see, things you want to see in the Discord, which could include like news services, analysis, how to buy guides, just general themes of topics you want us to discuss. Because this community is yours just as much as it is the person who created it. So I'll be doing those at least 1 hour a day, every day, except for Saturdays, at least until I'm back from New York. And I want to meet every single person I possibly can and talk about Traderverse, talk about your trading career, where you're trying to do stuff, and just how excited I am to have you in this community. So onboarding, live trading, community update, tons of stuff going on. So I hope to see you all at least one of those things.
Sweet.
Sayonara, my friends.
We will see you next week, buddy, and have a great one, everyone else. And we'll see you again here tomorrow at one of the 3 times. Live trading starts at 8 a.m. Eastern. So if you want to get in and watch Bentley, he's a day trader by trade. He's going to do some scalping live on air, and there'll be more details of how you'll watch going into Discord first thing in the morning. And yeah, so everyone have a great night. Thanks for coming. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for the surprise guest of the voice of DeFi. And I'll talk to you all tomorrow.